Welcome back. Welcome back.
Boy, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
You lagging, Corey?
And we can't hear you, my brother.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
How y'all doing? How y'all feeling?
Blessed, bro. Blessed to be here, man. Thank you for bringing us, bro. How everybody else feeling?
I'm feeling
I'm
great.
blessed, man. Corey, I still can't hear you for some reason.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear him. Sean, I can hear him.
Corey, say something.
Can you hear me?
No, I can't. Hold on. Let me see. Yo, let me try leaving and join it back, okay?
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, Corey, I can hear you good.
Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. Now This is 2026. 2026 is a new year for elevation, a new year for growth, a new year for mindset. It's about how we can continue to control the narrative and how we can continue to build this moving forward. Um, Jacques, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. We are back for another Wealth Wednesday. I know we've had a couple weeks off at the end of 2025, but we are back better than ever. I
Mm-hmm.
just want to be able to continue to just build out this year. I have my own agenda today in terms of just being able to just showcase what's really happening in the world. There's a lot of stuff going on with the markets, within the community, within the world, and this is something that we can use as a platform to continue to build and educate people moving forward. What do you guys feel like, for the most part, 2025 taught you in terms of your own personal, your own personal skill set and like how that elevated you into 2026?
Justin, you want to go
Um,
first?
yeah. Corey, I think you still lagging a little bit on my end. But I heard your question, bro. First, man, I just want to give all the glory to God that we made it. Not only we made it, again, each and every single day is a blessing, but to also go throughout a year, and reflect and see how much God has got you through. He put you through, you know what I'm saying, but also the wins, and the losses. My bad. Can you say what was the question again? What was the most thing I was proud of, or?
What do you feel like elevated you the most in what you learned in 2025?
Oh, okay. First off, what elevated me the most is what we did. You know what I'm saying? For real, like networking. 2025 was a year I know for sure I networked. Definitely, bro. Like the events we done, the events we went to, the people we networked with. I introduced Corey to some people. Corey introduced me to some people. You know what I'm saying? Like just networking will get you into rooms that your money can't get you into. Your name, well, your name can get you into, because you're networking. But again, it's some doors that'll be open that money just cannot open. Again, just knowing people and then them knowing people, man, it gets you into rooms and it brings opportunities, especially in business where it's like, dang, how would I be able to get this? And I would never be able to, see myself getting that type of opportunity without networking. And then also, man, just been growing with God. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to always say that, especially 2025, I expeditiously grew with God, especially in the last quarter. Man, it felt like crunch time with God. But man, he renewed my mind and a lot of things God has prepared me for. Hey, I just can't wait to be in the position. Well, I'm already in a position. I just can't wait to execute on what God has in store for me. Through Him, renewing my mind, cultivate me as a better man of God. So I can go out here, and get the things that He has put in place for me. What I learned the most in 2025 was, man, take it slow and look for longevity. Man, a lot of millionaires, some of my mentors, they always tell me like, Justin, why are you stressing? Why are you, trying to rush? Like, calm down, relax. I wish I was starting at your age. I'm 22. Corey, you 22 as well. Sean, I think Sean, what you is 21 or 20?
I'm 20, brother.
Exactly. I started at 19. I don't know how Corey started. Sean, I'm pretty sure you started at 18, maybe. I know you went straight out of high school, with the trade and stuff like that. But entrepreneurship, we're starting on a very early age. And the biggest thing that I learned was, bro, slow down. Not only slow down, because we have time, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying like, oh, we have time, to play around, but you have time to calculate your steps. You're not in no rush where it's like we have kids, you know what I'm saying? We in our mid 30s, late 30s, you know what I'm saying? We're not that. We have time to mess up, you know what I'm saying? Of course, we want to limit to as much time do we mess up. So that's why you need to be patient, with each decision you make, make your next move your best move, but we're not under that pressure. But it's like, dang, I have to get this done. I have kids I got to take care of, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? We are very young, and we need to take our age as an advantage on, okay, let me sit back, let me plan myself. Because if we sit here and plan, by we 25, we're going to be multimillionaires. For a fact. I know I'm gonna be a millionaire within the next a year or two, for a fact. But I would not get to that mindset because me, bro, in the beginning of 2025 to the end of 2025, my mindset shifted from thinking of life just from a year to now thinking of life for at least 3 to 5 years, and that's the mindset I'm in. Because when you're young like this, it's easier for you to spend money on, bro. It's easier for you to spend money. And not only is it easier for you to spend money, money come and go, but it's easier for you to lose track on the future, and that's the whole thing about it. The future, longevity. And that's been the word, towards the end of the 2025. It's been longevity. What am I doing today to set myself, and not just myself up, but the people around me and my family, my kids to come, whatever in the future? What am I doing that's bringing longevity into whatever I'm doing? Again, if this my credit college business, if this my Over East brand, what am I doing to build some longevity? Or am I just thinking of this year? You know what I'm saying? If I'm just thinking of this, and again, I'm not saying to, not playing a year or anything like that. We have to have small goals turn into big goals. But my thing was in the beginning of 2025 was just small goals. All right, what we on for this month? What we on for the next 3 months? What we on for the next 6 months? Maybe a year. You know what I'm saying? Let's just focus on this. And that's cool to think like that, but you also need to, okay, we're focused on this, but this right here, what we're focused on, should help us to the next year, if that makes sense. Like whatever you're doing, yes, focus on that. Focus on what's in front of you, but make sure what's in front of you is going to help you down that road. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, you still got to get down that road. You still got to walk down that road. And the moment that you want to just lollygag and focus on what's right here in front of you, you tweaking. You know what I'm saying? It's not that. Again, we have the opportunity. Thank God that we are young and he blessed us with the knowledge and the resources and the people around us to do what we're doing right now at this young age. But we also can't slip up. We also got to stay on point, and we also have to build for longevity. So again, overall, the two things I learned the most, man, I had to put God first. Not only that I had to put God first, he had to cultivate me into the man of God he has called me to be for the things that he has in store for me. Then also, again, networking. Bro, they say when they say your network is your net worth, it totally is. I networked so much in 2025 that, man, 2026, if I don't really have to network, I really don't really have to, because it's so big like that. But we're going to continue to network because, hey, it's never enough. But that network that I just created in 2025, hey, millions coming off each and every single relationship. It should be, and then, yeah, what I learned, man, think longevity. No matter how old you are, think longevity. Again, whether you old or you feel like you old, hey, you got to leave something for your kids. If you young, hey, you got to leave something for your older self. You know what I'm saying? And we young. So we'll get caught up in not thinking longevity, but longevity was an important topic for this year, and it taught me a lot.
LaShawn, how do you feel like that, what you've learned on top of that? I feel like that's something that for me, being able to just sit back and just see the things that's right in front of us and appreciate the things that we do have, and just understand that we don't have to have it just right this second, but we're still building into that person that God desired us to be. And it's, even though we might not be where we want to be yet, we're still taking that right path into where we will be.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Mm-hmm. What do you feel like for you, building on top of what Justin said, was the biggest things that impacted you learned in 2025 that you're building to 2026?
Well, so really just echoing even a bit, I mean, I would say kind of like what Justin said, it really is the relationship with God first and foremost, because I came from a household where there wasn't a forefront. And as I'm coming more into my manhood, I do understand that to be a good leader, you have to be led, right? And you can't be led by these worldly things. You can't be led by everybody. You have to let God lead you first and foremost. And every single fruit that bears from that will be absolutely phenomenal, undeniable, even if I may. And secondly, I would say really a big thing that I learned was what you think your ceiling is and where you think you're capped at isn't where you're truly capped. So just to give some context and clarity, so 2025, that was my first full year as an electrician. 2024 is when, at the end of 2024, the tail end, because I started school in October, I got out in December. So literally the start of 2025 is when I really started as an electrician. And for a certain point in time, excuse me, I thought like, oh my God, I made it. Like Justin know, where we grew up, it ain't a lot of opportunity, right? So I thought I kind of made it out for real, Justin. You know, can you second that? Like there wasn't a lot of opportunity where we grew up at, brother.
Nah, facts. Facts. I'm just say facts because you already know what's going on. And we're
Mhm.
the select few. If I could even name any, man, shout out Lockridge, for sure. One just off the top of my head, but again, being our age, nah, it ain't. It's only a select few. Thank God that He chose us. And we just trying to make it. We trying to do things like this, to show people it's possible. Because I'm pretty sure it's a kid like Sean and a kid like me, who probably thinking different but never seen different. And I just thank God that He chose me and bro to be a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like at the end of the day, just I had to understand that what I thought my ceiling was, your ceiling will always advance from what you've been exposed to. So when I became an electrician, I was like, oh my God, this is it. I'm about to ride out into the sunset. This is it. I'm about to be making 100,000 a year. I'm good. But at the end of the day, what I had to understand was, am I lagging y'all? Can y'all hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. But at the end of the day, what I had to understand was I saw more. So as an electrician, I mentioned this at Chicago Elevation Night. Shout out to everybody who was there. Shout out to the amazing event that my boy Justin and my boy Corey put on. What I said at Chicago Elevation Night was that I saw people who weren't there. So I would work on these job sites and I wouldn't see anyone that was my same age, no one that looked like me, and that was a problem to me. And God compelled me to see that. He gave me the vision. He didn't just have me focused on the money. He had me focused on my brothers and sisters who weren't able to make that money. So I feel like me thinking my ceiling was just okay. I'm about to just be an electrician. I'm about to just make my money right off to the sunset, retire. Now it's turned into me wanting to break that bread, just as Jesus broke that bread and gave it to thousands and thousands of people with 3 loaves. And He's giving me more than 3 loaves. He's giving me a wonderful career, a 6-figure career, no college, no debt, 20 years old. Like I literally just checked. I checked how much I made last year, and I was like, wow, like this is ridiculous. Like crazy money for my
Congratulations.
age. Thank you, I appreciate that. Like crazy money for my age, but at the end of the day, God put it on my heart to not only think about myself, He put it on my heart to think about others. So I thought my ceiling was just being an electrician, but He's shown me it truly is to be that prophet to reach all nations. So I would say I cultivated my voice a lot this year as well. And again, as Justin said, that network. Oh my God, literally, Corey, I met you last year. Literally. I met Corey last year and it's turned into this beautiful relationship. Look, he cheesing. Look, happy look. Like I met Corey. So just another tidbit I want to add, I really did come into using my voice more. And I say using my voice because at the end of the day, faith without works is dead. Yeah, you can have faith, God's gonna steer you right. He's gonna open opportunity and doors for you, but you also had to show you that you willing to put in the work to do that. I didn't know anyone. Literally, just the year before that, I'm just graduating high school, trying to make my way, trying to make something happen, trying to do something for myself. Like, I didn't know anybody. I didn't know Corey. I knew Justin, but that was just about it, and I had to actually use my voice and give out into the world what it is that I wanted. So, also, that comes with trusting in God. So, in a nutshell, I learned to trust in God more, cultivate my relationship with God more, to have Him lead me so I could lead others. Because being that prophet to reach all nations, you want to be actually pouring into. You're going to be pouring into people. You want to be pouring the right things into people. I'm not just going to be talking about the trades. I'm talking about financial literacy. Like with Corey, Craig Justin's going to be coming in. Like you just need God at the forefront of all of that to be able to shepherd others well. So that's about it for me.
Yeah, no, that is very powerful because there's so much you can accomplish in a year. I feel like 2025 for me has been something that just continue to live, go into that path that I've always desired. Just going from the point of doing the first founders forum. February of this year was the first time I said I want to go and collaborate with other like-minded entrepreneurs. Started that in February, doing over 5-6 collaborations of the founders forum, just making a staple from just the south and west side of Chicago, exposing young entrepreneurs, exposing different leaders that truly need to be heard and seen. That's something that I feel like has been just truly remarkable to see just how much the community has grown and how much impact we built over the past year. For me, myself, I've also been a year of just me being able to just expand my network, being able to get work with government organizations, work and get an internship working for development, being able to get featured on certain magazines. For me, it's just been a year of just being grateful for opportunities I've had and level of exposure. Like Sean, Justo, they always provide that energy, that support and brotherhood. And that's something that I'm so glad that we've been able to build, and we continue. We're just getting started. And that's something that I feel like just giving that foundation, but 2026 is now for intention. So that's something that I'm just very grateful for in 2025. So that's something that's just very important to me. Now, after starting off the new year, there's a lot of different things happening in the world. Now, a lot of different things happening right now, and a lot of people don't really know where the markets are headed. Where is their money going to be going in 2026? It's a lot of things from artificial intelligence to geopolitical issues to a lot of different things. It's a midterm election year. It's a lot of things that typically happen, and we have to be wary about some of these things that's currently happening. So understanding that where we look at for 2026 as far as the market outlooks in terms of the stock market, I want people to understand that this year is a year filled with the same narrative for artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is the driving force of this current cycle and everything moving in the world of business. It's expected to drive productivity, corporate margins, and long-term economic growth. At the same time, it's the biggest risk is overinvestment and hype moving into the new year. So this is something that we have the largest upside, and you see a lot of these different companies, and you see a lot of this investment in artificial intelligence, even though there hasn't been a proven return on investment in terms of revenue growth in some of these companies. For you, a lot of people talk about it possibly taking jobs, about being able to see something continue to automate a lot of different things. Like, where do you feel like this is something that, from a credit and business standpoint, how do you think AI changes who gets access to capital and who gets left out on a lot of these different things in AI, Justin?
That's a great question, because a lot of people think it doesn't play a part. But actually, I really think that this will actually help, people get more access to funding. And I also believe it's going to help people a lot with the credit. Why? With the funding, there's going to be a whole new aspect just because they know how many opportunities are going to present itself with AI, and the banks love to lend money, especially if they believe you're going to make money, so if it's another opportunity, just like how at first, with electrical cars, there wasn't really, into it like that. Internet, they wasn't really into it like that. But as soon as it started taking off, hey, we finna start lending for that, just because they see how much of opportunity it was in the business. So one is gonna be very more easier because people are gonna start incorporating AI more into their business, which is gonna help their business grow, if they're doing it right. So I believe for funding it may be easier, definitely, just because more money is being able to be made, and that means more money is gonna circulate through the bank. So more money will be again available to give out, especially what Trump is doing, with everything. I feel like it's going to definitely be more funding opportunities be available, and that's great because if more funding opportunities is available, that means more people can start businesses. That means more people can invest. That means more people can have again the funds to invest, and that's what I do because I want to make sure that information is shown to people. It's shown that, hey, come on, let's utilize these banks. They're here for a reason, so if it take AI, to get people on board, for the ones who need it, the ones who are looking for, who are searching for it, then hey, let it be. With credit, and credit repair, I feel like people are going to use AI for more information. So that's how to build their credit. That's how to fix their credit. That's how to, see, okay, cool. What if my credit look like this? What can I do with it? And I feel like a lot of people should be using it to their advantage with that. So on my end, in my business field that I'm in my lane, I definitely feel like a lot is going to help a lot. It's going to bring more opportunities. It's going to definitely bring more money. And man, use it. But I personally say, with AI, I have boundaries with AI. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, you have to. So be careful with it. When you're using it, especially when it comes to credit, because man, I done seen a lot of cases where, man, the internet, your information out there is easy to get a hold of, and with AI, man, people who use AI to scam people who use AI to talk. Like I remember I was calling the bank the other day. It was either the bank or the credit bureau the other day. I was calling somebody with finance, a company with finance, and I was talking to customer service, and it took me like a couple seconds, but I was actually talking to AI, and it sounded like a real person. So just be careful, because man, if they can do that with a real person's voice, they can do that with your voice. And they can call the bank, and your information is so sensitive, but it's also so access. That we have all this internet, all this data, that's just so accessible. Where people think it's not accessible enough, it's so accessible. And if you ain't precautious on it, and you just let AI do whatever, man, AI can be a downfall to you, in the long run.
Yes, and on top of that, when you talk about a lot of these different large language models and artificial intelligence, this would increase the demand for things in cybersecurity. So looking at that type of sector is the increased need of large language models. You'll see a lot of increase in cybersecurity market is one of those different things. I know a lot of different companies that typically invest in that type of technology is going to increase and become successful as demand rises. And then LaShawn, for my question for you is, what do you feel like when people hear AI, they think tech jobs, but how do you see AI and automation affecting trades, and how is it over the next 5-10 years?
Okay, how I see it. So at the end of the day, what I see how it's going to affect trades is that I was going to elevate our trade. Because at the end of the day, there's certain things that you can do with AI that can help our trade. Like I remember about a month ago or so, I was working a job where it was just literally, I was working in a high rise, right? It was just flat, nothing but just the ground. Literally, it was just the floor. And they had this little Oculus headset thing that integrates AI, and it shows you like where the pipes are going and what goes here and what goes here and what goes here. It was absolutely insane. It was phenomenal. And AI is going to help with things like that, just making our job easier. Also, AI is going to, it's like AI is going to just help in every single way. Like I know they're coming out with new tools, and they're just coming out with a lot of different things that AI is helping with. Like if you need to bend pipe now, there's an app for that uses AI to tell you the exact pipe size. And if you need, like, it's just helping in a nutshell, it's just helping our trade. On top of that, I believe that we're going to see an influx of people trying to come into the trades and blue collar jobs over the next 5-10 years, because AI is honestly taking a lot of these corporate jobs away. I mean, I'm seeing it every day on my story. People getting laid off by 80,000s, 100,000s, and sorry, only thing I'm seeing is, oh, we need 500,000 tradesmen by 2030. It's 2026 now. That's 4 years from now. You need 500 in 4 years? Come on now. We need over 80,000 electricians every single year. We need over 50,000 welders every single year. We need 30,000 plumbers by 2028. It's going to help at the end of the day. Trades fuel the economy. AI is going to help, but AI isn't going to take your job to the point, because there's no one that's going to wire that up but me. It would be too expensive to just have a machine come in and wire up a ceiling fan or wire up a light or do something like that. So it can only be an addition, not a subtraction.
Absolutely. That's something, especially with me working inside the real estate development, they literally need more young men, like men and women, just like you and I, to be able to offset the demand for people in trades.
Man, keep me paid, please.
Absolutely. And that's something like you mentioned, that's another avenue. You don't have to get into student loan debt, hundreds of $1,000s in debt like you do if you go to, if you're not, university is not fit for you. That gives you, like Sean said, that foundation that you need for success. And it's not about AI being replacing you. AI will replace people that don't know how to use it, or people don't understand and take advantage of the opportunities that's in front of us. So it's about being able to elevate in time shift, because it's not yesterday's information is now old news. And how can you learn that and utilize it towards the future? So that's something that I think is all about elevating in terms of how can we prepare and get ready so we don't have to try to scatter the last minute. And this leads on to my next topic. We talk a lot about different companies in 2026, is that a lot of people are talking about an AI bubble. People don't know what AI bubble is, when you typically see a lot of different companies going up, really at just going up in value over the course of time, really with all off of no real fundamentals, just basically in 1998, you had a lot of tech companies continue to be invested in, and their stock prices moved up in valuation with no real fundamentals. It was all off of speculation. And eventually it popped, where only a select few technology companies were actually profitable and were stayed in business. Few of those companies like Apple, Microsoft, Google, NVIDIA, those type of companies were companies that thrived through the AI bubble. But there's many other companies where people lost thousands, even lost millions. And a lot of people talk about is 2026 and 2025 another .com bubble. A lot of people think that it is, and due to a large spending in terms of artificial intelligence into the ecosystem of some of these Mag 7 companies like Facebook, companies like NVIDIA, companies like Tesla. A lot of these companies are spending billions and billions of dollars on data centers and the AI infrastructure. And a lot of people, I say, is not really the same type of situation as it was in the 1990s. A lot of these companies in today's age are some of the most profitable companies in U.S. history. These are not hype startups. These are not just companies that are just getting started. These are very valuable publicly traded companies. They can basically fund it internally within their own company. They have very diversified revenue streams, and they can wait years for returns. So when people say, why do they think that it's a .com bubble? I think that is way different, because a lot of these companies are way stronger and way more profitable, and are actually doing things that you can actually see some of these companies increasing profitability in artificial intelligence in terms of efficiency, in terms of growth, in terms of increased demand on a lot of these products. So for me, asking other people, you guys, my question to you all is, back then people were chasing hype. Today, the companies that are spending on AI actually have money. Justin, how important is cash flow and credit discipline at times like this, when there's a lot of hype around many different things?
Really, when you say cash flow discipline, I'm just thinking, on me, because I'm an investor. What am I investing into? And a lot of times, like you said, we got companies who are benefiting a lot off of, putting all this money into the data centers and putting all this money into getting it, because it's benefiting them. But when it comes to your business, like, is that actually benefiting you? Do you actually need that? You know what I'm saying? But not only that, let's just say you don't have a thing. My bad, y'all can hear me. My stuff just went in and out. Y'all can hear me good?
Yeah, I can hear you. Froze for a second.
Y'all can hear me?
I can hear you. You froze for a second.
Y'all can hear me good?
I can hear you now.
Yeah, we got you.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. It went in and out. You can say the question again, bro. Just because it's just a little tweak.
Yeah. So today, with a lot of spending on AI and actually making money, how important is cash flow and credit discipline in times like this, where a lot of people might see a lot of hype and a lot of investments moving?
Yeah, again, so like I was saying, man, I'm just looking at more into the investment side, again, with your cash flow, what you bringing in, what are you doing with your funds, and also, man, if you in the credit thing and you leverage your credit like I do, what are you doing with it? And this just brings me back into the last thing that I believe that was hyped so much that I want to invest into. But I don't know if y'all remember the NFTs. It was around COVID, that was a lot of money. But as y'all can see, NFTs are not what people thought they were going to be, but it did make a lot of money, for a short period of time. I'm not saying that's going to be with AI. Of course, I don't know 1,000%. I don't even know if the NFTs are making still money like that, but I do know that it ain't You know what I'm saying? It's not the hype that it used to be. So obviously it may not be making that much money because as you can see, NFTs were something where it was like, if people don't know, NFTs was like basically art, digital art. And the more and more it went viral, the more and more, of course, it was valuable. You know, AI is a little bit differently, but it is. I'm not gonna say it's something new because I believe AI is not really nothing new. We've been had Siri, we've been had uh looking up, so Google, when you look up and it just give you an answer, but it's just more advanced now, So I do believe that it's gonna be making some money, but I do believe that you should ease into it. I'm not gonna say don't get a piece. Get you a piece for sure because it's gonna be here, and this is the beginning. Even though people think like, "Dang, I should got into AI 2 years ago." No, I believe that you should be disciplined. Again, like you said, how should you be disciplined? Be disciplined when investing into this, but definitely get you a piece. Definitely put something in. Don't be putting your all in. You know what I'm saying? Thinking that, hey, I need to put most of this in. Do not. So when I say be disciplined, right? One, don't invest more than you can lose. Just being totally honest with you guys. I'm not going to set up here and say, hey, because yes, okay, the bigger the risk, the bigger the reward. But at the end of the day, man, I don't know if you got kids. I don't know what your bills are looking like. But this is something where you want to make sure, especially when it's something like, I'm not going to say this is new, but something that you probably don't have that much information on. Be cautious on how much you're investing. Get you a piece, get you a financial plan together. Like, okay, the bill's taken care of. We got this extra money in our pocket. What can I put aside to each and every single paycheck or each and every single month to invest into AI? Because AI is going to grow and it's going to continue to grow and it's going to be an opportunity for you to make some money. So I wouldn't say don't get in it, but make sure your risk to reward, it makes sense for you and your living situations. Same thing with the credit. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, people don't think like, okay, I got access to this money, I can use it. Boom. Yes, you can use it, but you're supposed to use it responsibly. Meaning, again, if I go get $5 and I go flip it to 10, I just made $5 off not my own $5. But at the end of the day, if I go lose that $5, I still owe that $5, right? And you don't want to build yourself into a hole of debt, especially off something like this, especially where it's just like, if AI don't do it, it don't do it, because at the end of the day, it's not your business. If you starting an AI business or whatever the case is, you're investing into a different business. So even if you was to, again, put yourself in a hole of debt, you're not even building anything for yourself, So if you was to start a business and then you investing into that and, okay, you made connections, you got some people, you just probably didn't do everything right. At least you have some sort of foundation. At least you built up something, where it's like, okay, if I get another chance, I could do it. With AI, bro, and you investing into the stocks or whatever the case is, your money gone. That's it. If you ain't invest right, your money gone. So I would just say, just be cautious on how you're investing. If you need to meet with a financial advisor, you need to, talk to somebody like Corey, who more advanced in the stock market business, where he could tell you, hey, do this and this and this, and these are the best stocks. Then go do that. Humble yourself and go speak to someone who's an expert in what you're trying to do. And I'm not just saying expert in stocks, but also an expert in managing finance. So if you need to talk to a financial advisor, hit me up, hit Corey up. We know people, and we bring in the resources, so I would say do your homework because you don't want to miss out, but you also don't want to, just dive in head first with no type of game plan, and you always want to make sure you calculating your steps. So I would say, man, get in it, yes, but be disciplined and, come in with a game plan, come in and what you're thinking. Not what you're thinking, come in with confidence. Okay, I know worst case scenario, this can happen, but best case scenario, this can happen. And we doing for the best, and you're basically planning. Come in with a plan if you're going to invest. If not, stay back and just let the investors do this one because you'll rather miss out than lose at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of many different things people take from that. Is a lot of risk. Trading has considerable risk before you invest. Consult with a financial advisor. Use it for information purposes. But it's very important. But like you said, before you even invest, you want to make sure you have that proper foundation, 6 months to a year of savings before you actually invest in case you have some sort of bills, you have things that come up, you have a flat tire, you have something that to come up. Help someone out, things like that. You want to have that, make sure that's good. And then, like you said, having a deal, you allocate your money every time you get paid. Have this thing called the 50-30-20 rule. You put 50% towards your needs. That's your bills, everything you need to pay every on a monthly basis. 30% towards your wants. You still want to live, and then basically 20% towards your savings and investments. Of course, you can adjust it based off of what your goals are, but it's important that if you want to really live and lock in over the next couple of years, there'll be more wealth built in the next 5 years than the internet did in 20. So if you really want to go and build wealth, if you want to go out and travel the world, you want to go out and spend money, max out your credit cards on things you don't need, then that can distract you from the tremendous opportunity of wealth that could be built if you sacrifice the things today for building that wealth that you desire for tomorrow. And even with looking at artificial intelligence, the growth of artificial intelligence is $1 trillion impact by 2040. It can generate up to 23 trillion in annual revenue for AI software and services alone, and boosting global trade by nearly 40%. This is something that is here to stay. And if you're here, that's going to continue to grow, you'll see massive economic value. AI software and services generate between 15 to 22 trillion annual economic potential by 2040. Basically the World Trade Organization projects with that right policies in place, AI could increase the value of global trades by nearly 40% by 2040 through productivity gains and trade costs. Like 2040 is literally only 14 years away. Like it's going to almost grow by 50%. And it's something that we're going to continue to see as things grow. And my question for LaShawn, in terms of seeing things like in trades and housing, we've seen boom and bust cycles. What lessons do you think Wall Street ignores that blue collar industries are already understand in terms of the growth potential or just how to navigate through times like this?
So something I feel as though Wall Street ignores is the fact that literally both the trades and housing are two things that are needs, right? And when there's always a need, there's always a demand. When there's always a demand, there's always money. At the end of the day, there's literally billions and billions of dollars spent on infrastructure every single year. Every single year. And I mean, I've worked on multi-million-dollar jobs just this past 2025. I worked at the Obama Library, Midway Airport, Chase Tower. Like, I've worked in absolute CTA, Red Line. Like, I've worked in absolutely insane places. And these have been multi-million-dollar jobs where there's limitless amounts of overtime. Like, it's crazy, right? So I really just think that Wall Street and the consumer needs to understand it. Anyone even looking into investing into real estate and investing into the trades or trying to become a tradesman and stuff like that, is that these are two things that are always going to bounce back. And I'm not saying that they won't have their ebbs and flows, right? But again, these are two constants that everyone is going to need. Literally, if my light goes out right now, I'm going to have to turn that light on. I mean, if I don't know how to do it, I'm going to have to call somebody who does. You need a place to live. Lights still need to come on. Plumbing still needs to be, like, everything still needs to be done, right? And that's really a more prudent investment versus a company that might crash and like no one cares about that. You know what I'm saying? Like no one like, hey, okay, the company crashed. There's 50 more companies just like it. But electricity is a constant. Plumbing is a constant. Welding is a constant. Housing is a constant. They're not going anywhere. So I believe that there needs to be more so focus on investing in things that cater towards that versus, something else.
I could say something to that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I love how bro thinking, because it's the truth, bro. Companies go out of business all the time, but what companies, I'm not gonna say that don't go out of business, but like don't make the headlines are companies that are a necessity. You know why? Because one, the percentage of those companies that are going out of business that are a necessity is very low. I'm pretty sure. Why? Because like he says, bro, we run into these problems each and every single day. But they are necessity. We need to live. We don't need to have Netflix. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. We don't. I personally believe we don't need electrical cars. You know what I'm saying? And if we do need them, we don't need specifically Tesla. We don't need a Walmart. We still got Target. We still got, you know what I'm saying? So I say that to say, bro is white. So if I don't know, and Sean, you can probably add to this. I don't know if it's like a stocks. Because this is my first time even thinking about it. Now that you said, that's why I wanted to add, bro. Like, and that's why I like, hopping on this, because I don't just hop on this just to get y'all again. I'm learning from y'all. I'm sitting back thinking, about what we're talking about, because this is real, and that's why I love having these conversations, because these $1 million conversations, But what I was going to say is, and Corey, you could probably add on to it too, like both of y'all, because you got education in the stock market more than me, and then Sean, you in that field where it's a necessity. So do they have stocks where we can invest into those necessity type of businesses, or what? Or they're mostly private?
So
Yeah.
I'll take this one. So independent like construction companies, some of them have like IPOs, right? And IPO means that it's a publicly traded company. It depends on how big it is. But also you can buy shares in a company or you can invest in a company regardless, right? Like I know a journeywoman of mine who actually is invested. She's about to start her own company. And literally, I was thinking about, hey, if I can scrounge up enough money, I can be, a startup investor in a company, and you can get like get a piece of that profit. Say, okay, well, just starting 10-15% comes to me every single. You know what I'm saying? You can invest like that, right? So you can also find startup companies to invest in. But if you want to invest on like Robinhood or something like that, it needs to be a publicly traded company. So, but I believe though that like these type of companies and this level of infrastructure that we're seeing, especially nowadays, like everything you just mentioned Target, you mentioned Walmart, you mentioned electric vehicles. Literally, who I work for, the union, we have literally a class on how to create EV. I mean, how to wire up EVs, the chargers. Literally, we literally have a class. I know how to wire. It's literally a 220 line, like literally. So at the end of the day, we're changing with the trade as well. We're changing with the world as well. Literally, all this electric stuff, literally, what's that word? Electrician. Like I'm always gonna have a job. So at the end of the day, I would rather invest in something stable like that versus, like you said, like we both said, a company that can go under. And it needs to be, again, a publicly traded company. It needs to be big enough to where what you're investing in is steady. So
I definitely appreciate your answer, Corey. What you got to say? I just want to hear from like an investor standpoint too.
Yeah, so there's many different avenues for people to invest in. You'll understand that you look at tough economic downturns in terms of the economy. We don't really technology companies are tend to be on the riskier standpoint. But there's many different companies that are really good in terms of you look at different sectors because you see with President Donald Trump, he's done a lot of moves towards infrastructure in terms of building data centers. And understanding that no matter how many data centers we build and how many chips we buy, if we don't have the energy, none of this AI narratives can grow and be possible. You need more energy. We have a lack of energy in this country. And if we don't build more, then none of this can work. A lot of companies, they look at oil and gas, and I'm going to speak on this in Venezuela later. If you look at different companies that are specifically in oil and gas, companies like ExxonMobil, Chevron, Shell, and Total Energies, those are companies that are typically going to have gone up over the last couple of days due to Venezuela. Because if you all don't know, Venezuela was just like we all seen the news. Their president has been captured by the United States. But understand that the country of Venezuela has the biggest amount of oil, 17 trillion in terms of 17 trillion dollars worth of gold of oil. That's really unrefined. They make up 17% of the world's oil, but they only refine about 1% of it. And a lot of these companies that I've just mentioned are going to be involved in that oil trade that might be able to benefit from potentially selling more, exporting more Venezuelan oil, especially if we grow the reserve from there. Not saying it's right or wrong, but I'm just saying that's something that we have to look into. And typically, companies, if you want to look in terms of infrastructure, companies like Caterpillar, they do very well. Looking at companies that's renewable alternative energy, Next Era Energy, Constellation, these companies have been very good in terms of building infrastructure. Because one thing that you always need is you need more infrastructure, you need more utilities, you need term energy. Companies like Waste Management, you need your garbage taken away. These things are going to be here no matter what, regardless of where artificial intelligence goes. You still need to go to Costco, you still need to go to Walmart, you still need to go have those everyday necessity items, which typically go up. And at the end of the day, people are still going to buy Coca-Cola. Companies like that are not typically the most popular companies that people look at, but these companies that have been around in terms of you look at manufacturing, you look at a lot of these retail stores like Walmart, Costco, they've done very well regardless of what happens in the world. So that's something to just look into. Some companies
can I add one last thing to that?
Yeah.
One last thing to that. All those companies that he just said, they got to be built. They all need electricity.
Yep.
Like that's little. They all need electricity. Everything he just mentioned needs electricity. Think about it that way. Like I feel like sometimes, even what he just said about the waste management, the more houses being built, the more infrastructure being built, the more garbage is being. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to think small as well. Like I know there's a lot of big thinking, and there's a lot of like flashy companies to invest in. Oh, I want to invest in Nvidia, stuff like that. But how do I word this? Sometimes the most steady, constant thing is the best thing to invest in. Because like you said, NFTs, yeah, it was a flash in the pan thing. But I still got my stocks from this waste management company that's been rising consistently 8-10% every single year. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you have to drown out the noise. You have to drown out the chatter. You have to drown out what everybody else is doing. No, do what works for you at the end of the day. And if investing in something that's consistent and steady is what you want to do, even if it isn't the most flashiest thing, then do it.
Facts. And I'm gonna add to that real quick. Um, what he said is just true. You know what I'm saying? As much as we see again all the, you know what I'm saying, all the new stuff and all the big brands and stuff like that. No matter what, no matter what, the necessity companies don't leave. So if you're looking to invest in those type of companies first. And then have a portfolio based off necessity that you would never take your money out because why? In the world you would never not need this stuff, then put your money into there. um and then again, man, it just shows like, okay, he said, hey, you built that company, then but you're gonna need electricity and stuff, the electricity for that company, then you're gonna need the waste management to take out the garbage for that company. So all these companies getting built, when you see all those companies go up, guess what? Those essential companies that you're not thinking about are going up 10 times more, because guess what? As much as you need it, the business needed 10 times more. So again, you think you throw out a lot of garbage, you think your water bill is high, you think your electricity bill is high. Imagine a business company bill. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, like you said, bro, all these companies, boom, boom, whatever the case is. And again, even if they don't have a brick and mortar, meaning they don't have their own location, at the end of the day, they need electricity. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a brick and mortar to make sure that the online company is running, bro. So again, I just wanted to piggyback and just emphasize on what he said. Like that's just a banger for me. Like I'm thinking about investing differently.
I'm
Having
literally
having a new portfolio just on necessity thing. Like I ain't lie, I'm getting game off this, bro. I'm listening to y'all, bro.
and let me tell you this, and I'm gonna just leave y'all with this, and this is gonna be funny. I'm working at a data center right now as we speak.
Mm.
Right
Can
now
you
as we
explain
speak.
what a data
Huh?
center is?
Elaborate.
What you say?
Explain, yeah, elaborate what a data center is, just for the people who don't know, and how much that data center is important and what we're talking about when it comes to AI, bro.
All right, let's get into it. So a data center is literally what it says. It stores data. So what these companies do is they have all of these I don't know the correct terminology for them, but like they have all of these computers, and it's literally one big room. We just put the studs in. Studs are just put in. It's one big room, but a whole bunch of like computers that just store, like storage computers, right? And companies will literally rent out that data center to store whatever it is that they have, whatever it is that they need, sensitive items, literally whatever it is. They literally rent out they literally rent it out to store, so it needs to be built quickly. But like what Corey said, they take up a lot of freaking energy. Oh my God! Like we literally got it's literally taking up power from the grid. It's literally 2 backup generators just in case the power. Like literally, it's like some legit stuff. But also on the electrician side, it is a cash cow because they want to get these up so fast. But fast to them and what's fast to us is two totally different things. 5 years is fast to them. So they saying, "Oh my God, we want to get this done in 5 years instead of 7 years. So we're gonna be pumping out, all the guys are gonna be working 12s, 7 12s. By 7 12s, I mean 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. All their time is gonna be time and a half. If I'm making 60 an hour, time and a half. Oh, we want those guys to work Saturday. Saturday is all time and a half. Sundays is double time for 5 years straight. That's power. That gives me the ability to do whatever it is I want to do. And there's only going to be more and more and more popping up, and infrastructure is going to change. EV charge, like literally, I can do an EV charger right now. That's power. These two hands it's going to be making me a lot of money. Look at these calluses on my hands. It's making me a lot of money right now. They're going to be making, and this is just the beginning. I just started last year. Come on, get in where you fit in, y'all. And these data centers is where it's at. They literally just big storage computers. Literally. So let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that ties back in. Like you said, those data centers are so important. It's like a brain for everything that you see in terms of all these large language models like ChatGPT, OpenAI. They're like the brain to all that. And I know someone mentioned about the company called NVIDIA. I mean, what do I think about NVIDIA right now? I know this was a while back in the comments. If I look at NVIDIA is currently the most valuable publicly traded company in the world, about $5 trillion in market cap, the first company to ever reach that. NVIDIA is they're very important. Understand that what they do is they produce GPU chips, which are graphic processing units, and they're the chips that go inside these data centers. So there's data centers, they have big rooms. They're filled with shelves, and their shelves are filled with GPU chips. And NVIDIA's GPU chips are the ones that are being filled inside these different shelves that power these large language models in terms of energy. So although they've done very well, they've sold out with their Blackwell GPU chips. They have a 90% market share, 55% profit margin, and they're continued to grow exponentially. Started off making games, but now realizing that their chips are the most crucial chips in terms of the build up the artificial intelligence market. But understand, moving forward, they are good. They're going to move into like robotics and a lot of things in that manner. But instead of everyone looks at NVIDIA, but no one really looks at what the whole entire ecosystem is. Understand NVIDIA is the one that has the chips, but understand who makes the chips. Have you heard of this company called Taiwan Semiconductor, TSMC ticker symbol? They're the ones that produce NVIDIA's chips. They produce 60% of the world's GPU chips. They produce them for other companies as well, like Intel, like AMD, and many other companies. If they don't produce their chips, NVIDIA cannot function. So understand that's why TSMC is one of the most important companies in the world. And also on top of that, understand in terms of these data centers, they have to be cooled at this specific area. If anyone here have heard of a company called Vertiv Holdings, these different data centers have to be cooled at a specific temperature. So Vertiv Holdings partners with NVIDIA in order to make sure that these data centers are partnered at a specific temperature. So instead of just looking at NVIDIA, look at the whole entire build out. If people can't afford NVIDIA's chips, look at people going and buy a cheaper version. That's AMD. NVIDIA is like Louis Vuitton, and AMD is like Walmart. And basically understand who are the people that's providing the pickaxes and shovels and turn this gold rush of artificial intelligence. And the same thing, in order for these data centers to function, they need energy. They need many different things in the infrastructure in order for them to become successful. So that's something that's very important. And a lot of people, that moves on to my next thing. A lot of people really don't know what's really happening in terms of this outlook of terms of companies. They talk about NVIDIA, they talk about Apple, they talk about Microsoft. They said, I wish I could have gotten to them before they were public. But for me, I want to be able to showcase a lot of different companies that you all might not have heard of, but potentially might go public in the next year or two. There's a lot of different companies where many people think that a lot of companies today's most powerful publicly traded companies are still private. I mean, most people can't really invest in them yet, but when they go public, they will reshape a lot of these markets. If anyone understands that this is time for pre-IPO era of wealth creation. So many people have looked at a lot of the most valuable publicly traded companies, but people don't really know many of the most valuable privately held companies. The most valuable privately held companies in the United States right now, the number one most privately held company in the United States is SpaceX, which has a valuation of $800 billion. Many people know Elon Musk for Tesla. They know for Tesla, Twitter, but many of his most important companies are private. SpaceX, People look at SpaceX, it has that valuation of 800 billion for not just for any reason at all. It's because it's something in terms of space infrastructure, satellites, defense, and global communications. It's very likely IPO in 2026, potentially is Starlink for defense tech. It represents a lot of space and government contracts and long-term monopoly positioning. Elon Musk owns about 70% of the satellites across the world. And SpaceX, instead of using one spaceship that takes years to go out to outer space one time, you can reuse one rocket ship for up to like 15 to 20 different times off of one ship that can go and land itself. There's a whole different industry. If SpaceX potentially IPOs in 2026, Elon Musk will be the first trillionaire on paper. And there are that matters. Whoever controls the space infrastructure controls future data and future defense lenses. So we're talking about Earth, but he's thinking way bigger. Like we're thinking about him and his Tesla cars, but Tesla is not even his best company, to be honest. So we have to look bigger. Another company that you all might have heard of is called OpenAI. OpenAI is the company that is behind ChatGPT. It's the foundation layer for artificial intelligence and rules across every industry. They have a lot of expertise in this lane. People don't understand that Microsoft owns 49% of OpenAI. OpenAI has a valuation of $499 billion. It's privately held. But for people to understand that ChatGPT is still a cash flow eating monster, like they really don't have as much profitability. They still have to spend hundreds of billions of dollars, and they're making only like $14 billion in revenue. So they really have to be able to become more profitable in order to see if they're going to be a profitable company in the future. It's about building the ecosystem infrastructure, not just an app. And then looking at a company called XAI is another. Anthropic's number 3 at 350 billion. And anyone heard of Claude AI? Anthropic is the company that's behind them. The IPO 350 billion, focused on responsible enterprise grade AI. Claude is very well for terms of AI agents, backed by Amazon, Google, and major institutions. They raised $10 billion, which signals a lot of confidence in long-term dominance in their space. They've done very well, especially done better than ChatGPT and many others things. And then looking at number 4 is XAI. A lot of people talk about Twitter, but this is AI's AI counterweight. So it's basically deep integration. People wonder why they are basically building the ecosystem behind Twitter. So they're the ones that control all of the data behind Twitter itself. So all your data, if you're doing all your tweets, is backed by XAI, and they potentially go public in the next couple of years. So if you're someone who controls data and power, you'll be able to move forward. And those are just some companies for people to understand that is super important towards the future. If you don't understand that, I have one more. I have one more company that you all should also know. This company, if you all have seen a lot of these different things, this company called Anduril. Anduril is a military defense company, and many of you all heard of Palantir. But Anduril is military defense. They have a lot of government contracts, and there's modern warfare technology. The future of warfare is not going to be sending more boots on the ground, but it's going to be able to send more drones and more robots to other places. So this is something that's very important because under this new administration, they have more military defense spending. And you'll continue to see a lot of growth in this sector moving forward as the technology and stuff grows. But this is something that's super important for you all to understand. If y'all want to be able to understand companies before they even go public, that this is something that a lot of institutions get early access to, that people don't really, like retail investors don't really enter after valuation explodes. But if you don't understand the private markets, you'll always be late to the party. So being able to understand who's really in control of these systems so that you can be able to make the most of these opportunities when they come.
Hey, Corey, real quick.
Yeah.
How do someone like me, who's probably a retail trader or trying to just become a trader at all, get access to the private markets and know more knowledge about these companies before and while they're still, before they, become this important, before they come to, you know what I'm saying? Basically get that advantage that, again, over a retail trader?
Yeah, so a lot of these companies in itself, as a retail trader, you cannot really invest in these companies unless you have millions of dollars of capital investing pre-IPO. For most people, that's not a reality. But the biggest thing is understanding which companies are associated with the ecosystem. Again, when I talk about a company like SpaceX, if you want to have exposure to SpaceX, invest in Tesla, invest in companies that are associated with the success of that technology and
Mm.
ecosystem. If you're looking at a company like OpenAI, ChatGPT, Microsoft owns 49% of OpenAI in itself. So if you want exposure to OpenAI before it goes public, invest in Microsoft. If you're looking at someone who wants to look into, like I said, you want to go into a company like Anduril. Look at companies like Palantir. Palantir is already a publicly traded company. They've done extremely well. They were added to the S&P 500 in 2025 or 2024, and they've done exceptionally well. You look at what the government, how the government is moving. You see how many government contracts that these companies are getting. Anduril is continuing to gather billions in government contracts. SpaceX is getting billions in government contracts. You look at many companies like OpenAI and Chat OpenAI. Look at Sam Altman, who's the CEO, who's in every single meeting in that White House. Look at the people that's positioned for them to be able to be successful the next couple of years. This president has been more transparent about the markets than almost any other president in U.S. history. All of the Mag 7, the companies that you saw that were in the White House and since January 1st inauguration, as end of 2025, have done very, very well. So it's not about understanding, it's about understanding how the whole entire ecosystem, now who has the relationships, who has the government contracts, and who's paving the way so that they can become successful throughout this presidential term.
I ain't go front, Corey. You gonna be the first one to have like your own AI company or something, bro. You gonna have some AI. Like I feel like the first thing, look, you cheat, look, you boy, you talking, look, you know your stuff, bro. I know you wasn't even reading. I know that was off the top of the dome, bro. I know that was off the top of the dome. You know your stuff, bro.
You do for real. That's why
Like
I'm.
you,
Right.
I remember, like a couple Wealth Wednesdays ago, man. Justin asked you, he was like, "You ever have an AI girlfriend?" But no, for real though, Corey, I know, bro. Like the amount of stuff you know regarding AI is absolutely phenomenal, bro. I just feel like, you are gonna be someone at the forefront of the turn of this. Like, this is really the turn of something new. Like you got to think about it, bro. How long did it take man to discover fire? How long did it take man to invent the wheel? How long did it take man to invent a car? How long did it take the Wright brothers to make that plane for the first time? You know what I'm saying? So it's like at the end of the day, this is another one of those global events where change is coming. And at the end of the day, you either go get with change or you go get gone because change is inevitable and change is absolutely undeniable. So the fact that you're getting ahead of this change and you making yourself at the forefront of it instead of somebody that's being left behind by it, because you got old people every day still got the Nokia phones talking on the phone, don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, keeping yourself updated with the current times is absolutely phenomenal. And I know that, man, you and AI go, y'all go together, bro. Y'all peanut butter and jelly, bro. So I know that whatever new come out, you go be on top of it. And I can't wait to hear and learn more from it.
No, for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I appreciate it. This is something that we need to talk about in our communities. We talk about the
Yeah.
MJ, Michael Jordan resort, but this is the opportunity that everyone needs to understand if we want to take this next wave seriously.
Mm-hmm.
You see the world, all this stuff is strategy. We see chess being played in front of us, whether that's the war with stuff in Venezuela. You look at everyone collecting our IP, the different government contracts. Everything is here in our information in our face. It's not a lack of information; it's like an implementation.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is being moved in front of us. They want us to keep ourselves distracted about things that don't actually matter, while they can go and rebuild the world around us.
No,
They
bro.
want to rise up the price of the value of the properties in the inner city so they can price us out and move us out. They want to keep us and so we can continue to sell our IP, have no ownership of our own rights, ownership of ourselves, and make AI clones of us. All that type of stuff that you've seen in society is coming back in reality. People don't even understand that. Look, you look at the average age of an empire. The average age of an empire, look from the ancient Rome, ancient Greeks, and everything is 250 years. This year, 2026, is year 250 for the United States. No matter which empire that you've always seen in the course of history, there's always been a demise. You can't really create a sustainability if you're not able to continue to move and have people informed. You look at the price of the U.S. dollar is going down every 10% last year alone. As they print more and more money, as they continue to devalue the U.S. dollar and they make more and more money, you realize that the actual reality of the United States is not as bright as you may seem. The top 1% is holding not top 1% is holding about 90% of this country's wealth. And if we're not able to basically deploy our capital and our dollars into businesses, artificial intelligence, then we will get left behind. And this is something that's the most important aspect of the next 10, 20 years. But we're just getting started. And I know it's just a very good conversation to have moving forward. So I just want to have just one last question before we head out. I know it's with an hour. But this is something I just really wanted to just emphasize for you guys. Like, in terms of the last thing I want to be able to cover before we get off this stage, what do you feel like is, if you had to give one principle, not a prediction, that young people should live by in 2026, what do you think it would be?
I got one.
Okay.
Trust God. That's it. Trust God. He will never leave or forsake you. He will never leave or forsake you. Even when you think that, you doing all the wrong in the world, even when you think ain't no coming back from it, even when you done did bad all your life and now today you want to change your life, man, trust God and trust that he got you and trust that he loves you. Allow him to lead you. Allow him to talk to you because he wants to talk to all of us. We all his children. So just trust him. You worried about your business, you worried about your life, you worried about relationship, you worried about family, you worried about all this stuff. Just trust God and know what's for you will always be for you. And that goes with something that Justin said earlier. Just be patient. Patience, young Padawan. It's all going to come to you. All going to come to you. He is the author and finisher of our faith. The only thing he wants to know is we're ready for it at that time. He given us a vision, but you got to think about it. He's above time. He ain't never say when we was going to get it. Just know it's going to come. So at the end of the day, just trust God. Going into 2026, 27, 28, 29, 30, 40, 50, 60, it's all going to be the same thing. Trust God. So that's it. That's all I got.
I just love, having brothers like these two young men right here because I'ma always say that, you know what I'm saying? So since bro said that, I could say something different, but that's the priority right there. That's where it starts. I need to say that before. If I'm able to say anything else besides that, like what is the priority, what is the mindset, whatever the case is, that has to be said first. And again, that's why I love having a circle like this, so where they can say it. And if I don't say it or if I don't go first, it's already being said. So love my brothers because they make it sure with that. But in 2026, man, I would say patience, but it's patience. Take it day by day. It's 365 days in this year. Today is the 7th. So you already hold on, my bad, y'all. Let me see.
358 days left.
Bro, I could do quick math. Yeah, 358 days left. You know what I'm saying? As you can see, we already a week in. And it just felt like New Year's. We was just at the blackout party, the Chicago Elevation night. We was just there. And that was on the 29th. We're already 7 days. I don't know about y'all, but didn't 2025 fly past for y'all? Am I too? You know what I'm saying?
It flew by.
I just remember we was just doing the first Founders Forum. I pulled up downtown. I did some things with Ian and Corey beforehand, but this was like the first thing, in public. Man, it was my first time speaking on the mic. And man, we then did probably like 5+ events since then. Then I did some on my own and whatever the case is, and it just flew by. You know what I'm saying? The hard days, I don't even remember them. The good days, sometimes I don't. Why? Because it flew by. So don't try to complicate things. Take it a day by day, brick by brick. Why? It's going to fly by anyway. So just take at the day. Don't worry about tomorrow. God said it in his word, actually. For today is enough worries. I think it's in Matthew. My bad. I'm getting a little preachy on y'all, but I do be doing Bible studies. But I just gotta say the word. You know what I'm saying? Because
Are you talking about where he says that worrying will never add a second to your life, or no?
no. He said in Matthew, real quick, man. He said in Matthew, after he said, "Seek first the kingdom of God." And all these things, and seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things shall be added unto you. He also said that you shouldn't worry. You know what I'm saying? Because you only have today. For today's worriness, it is enough. So you ain't gotta what's the name? It says in the that's why I like God. It says in Matthew chapter 6 verses 33 through 34. It says seek the kingdom of God above all else. So that means put God first. What Sean said. Hey, look, you see how we comparing together. Look, Sean
That's
said,
synergy, brother.
and live righteously, and he will give you everything you need. So do what good Sean said. But guess what? Keep reading, and guess what it says in the next verse, literally right after about what I said. I didn't even plan this. I promise y'all.
Whoa, we get that, brother.
God is speaking through us, and again, man, he amazing. It says, so don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring its own worries. Today's trouble is enough for today. So God is saying, do not worry about tomorrow. First off, you don't even know you're going to wake up. You think you're going to wake up. We pray.
You hope you go.
God, we waking up. Thank you, God, for waking us up in advance. You know what I'm saying? But you don't know. And not only that, you got so much ahead of you tomorrow. Focus on today. What can you do today? Take it step by step. And that's the word. But I'm going to end it with a prophecy. It was this millionaire, right? I was watching a podcast. It was this millionaire. He's a billionaire now. He built his brand. Boom, millionaire, making millions. Lost it all in debt, millions, right? Now he's a billionaire. How did he do it? The only thing he said, man, it was hard. Only thing I could do was take it step by step, day by day, brick by brick, percent by percent. Just focus on the day. Whatever I could do today, boom. He didn't look at the big problem. Millions of dollars of worth of debt. Not only that, you're a man. I believe he had kids. You know what I'm saying? So you could just imagine the weight was on his shoulders. And he said, man, I just day by day. So again, what me and Sean said, bro, prioritize God, put God first, talk to him, man. And then look, focus on day by day. We already 358 days left of this year. By when this month ends, I don't know how many days are in this month, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be around 330 something days left. And after that month, we got February. Well, February only has 28 days. We're almost going to be already 300 days down. You know what I'm saying? So take it day by day. You're going to look up and like, dang, I was just stacking. You wasn't worried about next week. You weren't worried about next month. You weren't worried about the summertime. You weren't worried about nothing but the day ahead of you. Well, what day you woke up and what can you do that day? Focus on that day. Keep going. And yeah, stack progress. Get 1% better a day. Guess what? By the end of 2026, you'll be 365% better than you was last year.
That boy speaking numbers, boy. He got the numbers out. He's speaking numbers, boy. There you go.
It ain't cap, but it came from God, bro.
Absolutely.
What you got to say, Corey? Yeah, he thought you weren't gonna say nothing. Game, Corey.
It's this the thing. Like, it's literally we 7 days into 2026 already. Like, if you're not really going out there to attack, you're already behind. Like,
bro,
if you waited until January 1st to start on your New Year's resolution, you already started the year behind. Yep. It's about how much you want to commit into the life that you desire to have. We all say we want to be great, but no one wants to put the work in. We out here at 10 p.m. talking about wealth and finance. You could be out talking, watching Netflix, hanging out with somebody, or you could be doing anything. Or you could be an intentional talking about how you can shape and build your future. We always wish we had some of these things, but are you willing to put the work in order to get it? Most people are not willing to take the sacrifice it takes in order to get the $1 million. The late nights, the missing conversation, missing table, missing time with friends, missing time with families, missing the things you like to have, delaying the stuff you want in order to get the life you always desire. But everyone wants things quick. Everything wants things instantly. And they wonder why people like us are successful. They wonder why we have the great things, why we have the things. It's not even about the accolades. It's not about the money. It's not about all those things, but it's about how much we can provide value to each and every person that doesn't think they can have it, that they can become something.
Man.
That we can build our communities back from where they can be. Crime in Chicago was down by 30%. And we got Justin in the streets hanging out, building out communities. We got Sean building up community centers, empowering youth about what they can do. We got people talking about investing, making it cool. Instead of putting down the guns, putting down the YNs, and putting on ways how they can present themselves in a positive manner. All this starts with us. I think we played a role in the reason why this crime was down. The reason why more kids are engaged.
Corey.
We are solving the solution. When people sitting on Facebook talking about the problem, we creating the solution. And if you're not here that's going to build it, I want you to get out of our space and let us build that what we're doing. Because we're not just doing this to talk. We do this each and every day, and we live it in our life. And we're tired of being distracted. We tired of fighting against each other. We tired about nonsense. This year's about ownership. This year is about us executing. There's no more excuses. This is the biggest change in our life. And if you want to be able to build for and set your families up for the next 5 and 10 years, you have to understand what's even happening.
Your kids.
Your kids. We talking about 6 months. We talking about 5 years. We talking about 200 years.
Bro.
We are focused on things that don't actually matter when everything is changing right around us.
Man.
Each and every Wednesday, we're going to be sharing this information on how you can transform your life. And if you over here want to go and be cool like everyone else, you want to go out and be sexy red or be cool or try to get bottles in the club, look, you can do that.
Facts.
But what we're here, we're building something long time. We're building something sustainable. We're building something that's going to transform our communities. We're going to be able to rebuild it. We're going to build a high rise in the south side of Chicago. You'll see it.
Fact.
You hear me? High rise in the south side of Chicago. We're going to build a whole block. We're not fighting over blocks. We building the block up.
We buying the blocks too. Hey, we go, man. Look, let me tell you something, man. I got a dream, bro. My MLK, what he say? I got a dream, bro.
Hey,
all our kids gonna be, man. What all our kids gonna be cousins, bro. We all gonna be uncles to each other kids, man. We gonna be able to. Hey, son. How old you just turned? You turned 16. I'm not giving you a car. I'm giving you a building in your name. Here's the deed, and you get a car too, just because I love you. You feel me? That's the dream, bro. Grandkids come of age, man. Like, I got something I want to give you, man. I don't want my wife to work, man. I got my wife in that room right now, bro. I don't want her to work, bro. I don't want my daughters to have to do anything either. I don't want my granddaughters to have to do anything. I want my grandsons, my sons to have to do anything but be able to shepherd what I gave them well. We making trust fund babies, bro. We making trust fund grandkids, bro. We go have them fulfill their purpose from a point of passion and comfort, not a point of desperation to happen to get it out the mud. Ain't no more getting it out the mud. That's done with me. That's done with me. That's done with us. We got it out the mud so our kids and our grandkids won't have to. They go be in them plaid colored outfits, bro. They go be with the polos on at school. You hear me? We got this, bro. We doing it, bro. We doing it. Man. I ain't waking up at 4:30 every morning for no reason. You hear me? I ain't doing it just for me. It ain't just for me. Trust it ain't just for me. I wear the weight of my kids, my grandkids, my wife, everybody. I weigh it each and every day. That's on me from the day I wake up to the moment I go to sleep. Man, I'm dreaming about it. You hear me? It ain't just for me. So y'all keep pushing, y'all keep going. And not only that, we so unselfish with it. We ain't just we all got the game. We still giving it to you. We giving it to everybody else. Oh, look at my girlfriend in the car, my Sullivan Grace. Thank you.
Hey,
man.
Hey, shout out to Sullivan. Shout out to Chosen Her. All the people that's in the chat. All the people that's in the chat that's still here. Y'all supporting us. Y'all building this movement. I'm proud of y'all. I'm proud of y'all for doing y'all thing. Sullivan doing her thing. Chosen Her doing her thing. Every one of y'all taking your life, moving in the right direction. You're there. I saw y'all at our events. I see y'all. Even though I might not be saying nothing, I see y'all and what y'all doing. Y'all doing great things. And we building. We just getting started. Man, and we gonna continue to build this. Look.
Gonna be, man. I just want to say, you ain't even got to put me on the big screen, bro. I want all of us to be when I say this, bro. Man, that's I love when like Corey be asking good questions, but I love his response and just his energy when he just spoke that, bro. When we started, bro, I love us, bro. When we started doing what we're doing, of course, we had our own, individual goals. We want to do this, we want to do that, but the whole thing was to change the narrative. Like bro say, we ain't just talking numbers. Numbers don't lie. We could sit up in here. We could say whatever y'all think is good to hear. We could say whatever. But the numbers from 2025, like he said, from the violence prevention went down, from the numbers of people who showed up to the events, from the first event to the last event, from how our following grew, from how our views went, everything went up, bro. And again, God is using us to be the narrative, to change the narrative, bro. What he say? We could sit up here and bro, that and man, I'm getting like really amped up, bro. We can really sit up here and say and complain like Corey said, we got this, we got this, we got this. I ain't never in my life, and I ain't gonna lie, we need to us three, right here, and of course our other people. I know we humble, but we need to start hood. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say being boastful, but we give the glory to God over here. You feel me? We need to be more vocal about God because everybody who's doing the wrong stuff, they ain't being vocal about it. We need to be more vocal about God, bro. But I'm saying to say, I never in my life, 22 years of being from Chicago and being out here, I never seen somebody do what we do at our age. Not and again, at our age, going viral for the right things in the city of Chicago. Never seen it a damn life. Never seen, being honest, never seen an 18-year-old go straight to being an electrician. You feel me? Never seen somebody like hosting events. All right, come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. You feel me? I never seen it before.
We the change, bro.
We the change, bro. We not just talking about it. We boots on ground. We doing it. You feel me? And Corey said, bro, last year, it was the year, okay, hey man,
little temperature check. Let's see how y'all coming.
we could put excuses, I ain't lie. We was being soft to y'all. Hey man, come on, get up. Yeah, we got
ain't
this.
No softness, buddy. Hey, act a star, buddy.
We was saying this when you first started the Wealth Wednesdays. Ain't no more excuses. It ain't no more excuses. I'm telling you, things about to change. Well, it already changed. Ain't no more excuses no more. Ain't no more. Why we doing this? Man, we dropping the murder rate. We buying up blocks. We doing all this. Ain't no more excuses right now. So if you not on, ain't no more, or I'm a product to my environment because the environment is changing.
Man,
ain't no more,
you ain't know none of that.
Because the resources out here. Ain't no more, dang, man. It's just been old people coming to me in a suit doing this. You got three young black men right here doing
20, 22, and 22. Come on, now you can't get no younger than that.
Ain't no more excuses, folks. Ain't no more excuses.
I can't even drink yet. Like
exactly. Ain't no more excuses. So again, we're young, cool. You might be older than us. You probably went through that phase with the excuses. We're younger than you, showing you doing it, and you might be younger than us. Cool. We trying to give you the game earlier on so you could do it better than us, bro. Ain't no more excuses. Again, right. 2026, no more excuses, bro. No more excuses. So when things start looking differently on how we doing things, hey, we've been saying it the whole year, 2020.
Hey, we go show them this that we was up at 10:24 on a Wednesday night. I got to be up at 4:00 in the morning, up with y'all. You know what I'm saying? We go show them this, like, hey, and this was free.
Right.
We doing this out the kindness of our heart and the glory to God. Like, you know what I'm saying? He giving us the strength and the provision to do this. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, we ain't charging people for this.
Right. You have
it's gonna get like that.
Right.
It's gonna get like that, Justin.
Hey, go to our mentees right now. They 16, 17. Go ahead.
It's gonna be like that, bro. It's gonna be like
Corey eyes looking like, oh, bro.
Hey, look.
You ain't Ben. You ain't gonna be able to reach Corey. You gotta go to 3 of his AI assistants first before you get a letter.
Real though, y'all playing. Y'all got Sean laughing. Y'all think Sean playing? He not playing.
It's over. It's over when I hit Africa 2026, 2027. Look, hey.
You hear me? Especially when I move to Puerto Rico.
Hey, look.
You know where I'm moving to. I don't decide where I'm moving, unfortunately.
Hey, Belize. Hey, I tell y'all that.
I don't know. Sullivan, you like Belize?
Hey, y'all look, I got to show y'all that. Well, it's a nice.
You like Belize? See, I guess you moving to Belize. She say Belize. Let's go.
There it is. Y'all, like, we literally got 3 different people from 3 different avenues. Whether you go into trades, whether you become an entrepreneur, you go into college. We literally got 3 different avenues. 3 young black men, different avenues, different areas. It's all about what you choose in your life. So feel free, check us out. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to follow us on social media. Make sure to follow me at Corey Phillips 3 on Instagram, Corey Phillips 32 on YouTube. And I just dropped a brand new podcast with my pops and my brothers called The Family Table Show. Episode 2 coming out on Friday. Stay tuned. There'll be an edition of this every single week. So make sure to subscribe. Shout out to your friends, to your family. We're going to build, we're going to grow, and we're going to continue to make this thing happen.
Yeah, man. We on next week?
Yep. Look.
Next week, buddy.
Say less. We on next week, man.
Yeah, on next week. Wait, what date? What's the date of that?
The
Which
13th.
one?
No, the 14th.
Oh, I'm gonna do what?
14th.
The 14th.
Oh yeah, okay.
All
But
right.
I'm gonna have some nice content for y'all. I ain't gonna tell y'all yet. Y'all go see. But I got some nice content for y'all on the 14th. Watch.
Hey, it's gonna
Surprise Sade. It's gonna get real exclusive.
Hey, it's 1 month till Valentine's Day.
Don't remind me. I'm about to have to work some overtime, buddy. They finna have to crack the whip, bro. They finna, Sean, you still here? Yep. Sean, it's 6 p.m. Yeah, man, I know, bro. You don't know. Hey, I'm telling you, bro.
Stay tuned.
First Valentine's Day of many. I gotta show up and show out. First impressions is everything.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
First impressions is everything. But that first Valentine's Day finna hit like Christmas morning. Watch, bro. Y'all go see the post.
Hey, I need work. I need to get on your level, y'all.
I'm going for the tears. I'm going for the crying. All types of stuff. I'm going for the makeup dripping. I'm going for it, bro.
Hey.
Hail Mary plays.
Hey, he's gonna be the mayor of Chicago one day. Look. Hey, let's see it.
But, all right, man. Come on. I gotta be up in a
couple hours. All right, y'all. We gonna check y'all out later. Make sure to support my brothers. Tell them where they can subscribe to y'all. Check y'all out, and we'll go and finish this out.
Man, y'all can find me at Sean the Undeniable on all platforms. Let's get it. Let's go. It's time to be undeniable. No excuses. All 2026. Let's show up. Let's show out. And let's go, man. We are the change, man. We are the change. Let's go. God said when he flooded us for the first time that he'd never do it again in that specific way. He's flooding us with information. He's flooding us with his disciples. He's flooding us with these prophets, man. We are prophets right now preaching his word of God, man. We preaching the prophet. We preaching finances, we preaching provision, we preaching it all, bro, and we showing y'all how to get this money the right way. They say they ain't never been a good millionaire, they ain't never been a good billionaire. We the God-given millionaires. Let me tell you that. We changing that up. We ain't stepping on the backs of others to get our provision. We ain't stepping on the backs of others to try to make an honest dollar, man. We doing this with God on our side, us 10 toes down, standing in his kingdom. Now let's go, man. We here. We ain't going nowhere.
Bro.
We ain't going. Y'all can't wake me up now. Come on, I gotta go to sleep. I can't wake me up, dude. Don't wake me up, man. Come on.
Hey.
Bro, I'm finna be long so Sean can stay on here longer.
Hey.
Man, Justo the CEO anywhere, Instagram, TikTok. Man, I just got LinkedIn, so y'all can lock me in on LinkedIn. Justin Vincent on LinkedIn, Justin Vincent on Facebook. I'm actually finna start a YouTube by the end of this, to give y'all some free game. You know what I'm saying? So y'all heard it first here. Free game, free videos on credit, financial literacy, financial management. So be looking out for that, man. And yeah, man, 2026. Hashtag no more excuses. I'm putting that on every post. Single thing I post is no more excuses. And if y'all watch this, y'all know why, man. But yeah.
Oh, we gotta tag each other. We finna make that all our posts. We gotta
I'm
tag
so
each
serious. I promise y'all, that's all I'm
tag
doing.
each other.
No more excuses. Last year was excuses. Ain't no more. We done did it. We
did too much for it to be excuses. It's like, come on now, like
I don't want to hear it. That's why I don't want to hear it.
It's like a grown man peeing in the bed. What excuse you?
Yeah. No more excuses, man. No more.
No excuses.
I don't want to hear them. So, yeah, man, 2026, let's do it. Let's do it. What about you, Corey? Where we can find you at, bro?
Hey, you can find me at Corey Phillips 3 on Instagram, CoreyPhillips.org. If you want to book me as a speaker, follow me on Social Storm Network for more content. See some of these clips as well. The Family Show podcast coming out, and just stay tuned. And for more information, more events, more collaborations coming soon. So make sure to check my brothers out and make sure to like and subscribe. And we'll see y'all soon.
All right, love y'all. Bye.
Love y'all.
You know that love.